The void stretched endlessly in all directions, punctuated only by distant stars that offered no warmth, no hope. Commander Zethkara of the Valian Confederacy clutched his injured arm as he stared at the static-filled display of his dying escape pod. 3 rotations had passed since the Krillian raiders had destroyed his research vessel, leaving him and his crew scattered across this forgotten sector of space. His breathing apparatus wheezed with each labored breath. The life support systems were failing, just like everything else in this accursed pod. Around him, the bodies of 2 junior officers served as grim reminders of how quickly death claimed the unprepared in the vast emptiness. Zethkara had sent distress signals across every known frequency. The Valian fleet was months away. The Threnodi Empire wouldn't waste resources on a single survivor. Even the merchant guilds avoided this sector. Too dangerous, too remote, too worthless. He was going to die here alone. A soft chime echoed through the pod's cramped interior. Zethkara's compound eyes widened as an unfamiliar signal pattern appeared on his communications array. The transmission was strong, close, and completely alien to any protocol he recognized. "Unknown vessel, this is the UES Defiance. We're receiving your distress signal. Please respond if you can hear this transmission." The voice was strange, melodic yet firm, speaking in perfect galactic standard despite its obvious alien origin. Zethkara had never encountered this species before, but desperation overrode caution. "This is Commander Zethkara of the Valian Confederacy," he croaked into his communicator. "My vessel was destroyed by raiders. Life support critical, please, help." A pause. Then, "Understood, Commander. This is Captain Jackson Torres of the United Earthship Defiance. We're moving to intercept your position. Hang tight. We'll have you aboard in 15 minutes. Humans. Zethkara's mind raced through his limited knowledge of the species. They were newcomers to the galactic stage. Primitives who had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. Most civilized species considered them curiosities at best, nuisances at worst. What was a human vessel doing in this desolate region? Through his pod's small viewport, Zethkara watched a ship materialize from the darkness. It was unlike any vessel he'd seen. Angular where most ships curved, bristling with what appeared to be defensive arrays, and painted in bold white and blue markings. The humans had answered his call when no one else would. The rescue operation was swift and efficient. Magnetic clamps secured his pod to the human ship's hull, and within minutes Zethkara found himself being helped through an airlock by 2 humans in environmental suits. "Easy there, Commander," said the taller human, removing his helmet to reveal kind brown eyes and graying hair. "I'm Captain Torres. This is my Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Emma Vasquez." The female human, Emma, immediately began scanning Zethkara with medical devices he didn't recognize. Her touch was gentle despite the obvious biological differences between their species. "Severe dehydration, possible radiation exposure, and what looks like a fractured carapace segment," Emma reported to Jackson. "Nothing we can't handle. Let's get him to medical bay." As they guided him through the ship's corridors, Zethkara marveled at what he saw. The human vessel was clean, well-maintained, and filled with crew members who nodded respectfully as their commander passed. These weren't the savage primitives described in Confederate intelligence reports. In the medical bay, Emma worked with practiced efficiency, treating his wounds with equipment that seemed surprisingly advanced. Jackson remained nearby, asking gentle questions about the attack and Zethkara's condition. "Why?" Zethkara finally asked, wincing as Emma sealed a wound with some kind of biofoam. "Your species has no treaties with the Confederacy. You gain nothing from helping me." Jackson exchanged a glance with Emma before answering. "Commander, where we come from, we have a saying. Any port in a storm. Out here in the void, we're all just trying to make it home safely. Today you needed help, and we were able to provide it. Tomorrow it might be us sending out a distress call. But the resources, the risk..." Zethkara struggled to understand. "My government cannot offer you compensation. I have no strategic value." Emma paused in her work, her blue eyes meeting his. "Commander, you're a living being who is in danger. That's all the reason we need." For 3 days, Zethkara remained aboard the Defiance as Emma monitored his recovery. During that time, he observed the humans with growing fascination. They shared their food without hesitation. Despite his alien biology requiring different nutrients, they modified a spare quarters to accommodate his environmental needs. Crew members stopped to check on his well-being, offering small kindnesses that cost them nothing but meant everything to a stranded soul. Captain Jackson visited daily, sharing stories of Earth and humanity's recent ventures into space. They spoke of exploration driven by curiosity rather than conquest, of colonies built through cooperation rather than subjugation. "We're new to this galactic community," Jackson admitted during one visit. "Most species see us as upstarts or potential threats, but maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe fresh eyes can see solutions that old traditions miss." On the morning of the fourth day, a Valian rescue ship arrived to collect Zeth Kara. As he prepared to transfer back to his own people, the commander felt an unexpected reluctance to leave. "Captain Torres, Dr. Vasquez," he said formally, "I will ensure that the Confederacy learns of your people's unexpected nature. Perhaps our species might find common ground." Emma smiled, the expression somehow translating across species barriers. "Safe travels, Commander. Remember, there's always help out there if you know how to ask for it." As Zeth Kara's shuttle departed the human vessel, he pressed his face to the viewport for one last look at the ship that had saved his life. The humans waved from their own viewports, and he found himself returning the gesture. Later in his official report, Zeth Kara would write extensively about human capabilities, their advanced technology, and their potential as allies. But what he would remember most was simpler. In the vast, cold emptiness of space, when death seemed certain and hope had fled, it was the humans who answered his call. Not because they had to, because they chose to. In a galaxy where most species measured worth in power and profit, perhaps the humans' greatest strength was their willingness to help a stranger simply because it was right. As Zeth Kara settled into his rescue ship's familiar surroundings, he couldn't help but wonder what other surprises this young species might have for an ancient galaxy set in its ways. The universe, he realized, might never be the same.